Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cindy.
And we are here today for another Feeding Frenzy, and this one is on the
Master Key System.
Master Key System, and we are day...
Part 1.
Part 1, day...
Number 3.
Number 3.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
The attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, the secret of all power, all achievement, and all possession depends upon our method of thinking. You believe that?
I do believe that. Read it again.
The attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, the secret of all power, all achievement, and all possession depends upon our method of thinking. And what do you get out of that?
That your surroundings, the world that I presently live in, just depends on how I think. I build it by what I think. Because then I'm going to put the energy towards what I'm focusing on. What I'm focusing on is what I'm thinking about.
Okay, so the attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. What is the attitude of mind?
Exactly the attitude of your thoughts, the attitude of your focus. So if I'm focused on the lack, then I'm going to create more lack for myself. Because I'm going to put energy towards creating that environment.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to get out of bed on time, and I'm not going to go and put any effort into making my situation any better. I'm going to find excuses, you know what I'm saying? So it just depends on what my thoughts are. If my thoughts are that of lack and I don't have enough and I've got to struggle for anything, then I'm going to continue to struggle. So I truly think that our thoughts do shape and create the world we live in.
So since there's a therefore, so what's the therefore? Therefore. It says the attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, so since the attitude of mind depends on what we think, then the secret of all power, all achievement, and all possession depends upon our method of thinking. What is our method of thinking? What does
For
it mean?
me, method is the action. Because I can think all day. And unless I put action to that thinking, then I'm not going to see much movement. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's how you use what you're thinking about, how you use your focus. I can sit and wish all day for a brand new car. If I don't go out and do anything to get that brand new car, it wouldn't matter if I had a car with my name on it sitting at a lot somewhere. If I don't get up and go get it, I'm still not going to see it.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how much I think about it. So when it says, therefore, it's relying upon your method of thinking, that to me is speaking about what the action is behind the thought.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
We're thinking all day, every day. Even when we sleep, our mind is working. We may have to talk to Dr. Jerry Levine about that, but I think our mind is always working. And so the method of thinking, I can use my mind to think about good stuff, or I can use my mind to think about trivial stuff, or I can use my mind to think about deep stuff, you know. So the method of thinking to me means what I do on a habitual basis. If I think more positive, then more positive things are going to happen. If I think more negative things are going to happen. It says the secret of all power, all achievement, and all possession depends upon the method of the thinking. So I think the way, a method to me is the way we do something. So the way I think affects the power, achievement, and possession that I have. So do you believe that the secret of all power just depends on the way you think?
I didn't used to. I do now, just because I have seen it play out in my own life.
Okay, so if that's true,
Yes.
then the opposite must be true too. That if we don't have what we want, it must be because we're not thinking the correct way. You agree with that?
I don't agree with the word correct.
Okay. That we're not thinking in the right way, or
we're not thinking in that way, maybe.
To get those things.
Right. But I
Or, well, let me
don't
put it this
necessarily
way.
subscribe to right or wrong.
If I don't have what I want in my life, then my method of thinking is not working.
Right.
So I need
We're not
to change.
thinking in the way to get those.
So I need to change
Yes.
my method of thinking to get what I want.
Yes.
So if life is not working for me, if I'm not getting what I want, if I don't have the power I want, if I don't have the things I want, then I should change my method of thinking.
Yes.
And hopefully this is going to tell us how we should think differently
Yes.
to get those things we need.
I think that's step one, is to change the thinking about it.
Or, well, no, I think it goes further than that. Step one is to realize that the thinking is the rudder on the ship, that the thinking is what makes it happen. So if I change my thinking, then everything else will work out. But first I have to believe that changing my thinking is going to work. Like my sticker.
I've been trying not to notice that sticker you placed there for a while. Yes.
This was one of the best. Okay. So anything else?
Well, and like you said, it is the rudder. Of course, even a boat that has no engine will drift. You know, so once we change our thinking, we will eventually even drift in that way towards what we want. So that answers the question of, well, how can somebody do this, that, or the other thing and not seem to have to really work at it? Well, even if we are changing our thinking, we will eventually drift in that direction. But it's like I said, I think the thought is the first action or the first step to it. And then you have to put action behind it.
Okay, one more time I'll read it. The attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, the secret of all power, all achievement, and all possession depends upon our method of thinking. Good stuff.
Good stuff today.
Stream.
Stream.
Stream.